You guys, I finally bought a new car. Wait till you see what it is.
Finally.
Dude, I haven't bought a new car in like 2 months. It's stressing me out, so I had to buy another one to fulfill it. Drift car things. Alright, so it's a 2003 350Z track edition, and it's manual as well, which is crazy. And I got it so cheap. It was unreal. We just took it for a couple drives and it feels immaculate. Like, there's nothing wrong with it other than a few cosmetics and a bit of an oil leak. What do you think about it?
It's good. It's really good. It's got a few little, like the bumper's having a divorce with itself. But that's better airflow.
A bit split. We've got a couple
gnarly dents. But like everything's just tight.
Bit of paint fade and stuff like that. Nothing that really matters when you're gonna be slapping E46 doors. Exactly. Yeah, we got the track edition, so it comes with the Brembo brakes. Sick. Yeah, and an LSD.
You can fit 2 golf bags in it. So when we're on our way to play golf, on the way to the drift track.
I don't know about that. We're gonna have to test that when we go to the golf course. Another thing is the AC doesn't work, but it's just missing a belt, so hopefully that's all the issue is. And it looks like rocker covers are leaking, so that's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass to change, but it's so worth it. It was so cheap.
What do you think of new car?
It's pretty sick, man. I'm pretty happy with it. I want to put some coilovers in it, get some sticky tires, and throw it sideways. Alright, it's been a couple days, and last night I put it up on the car ramps and inspected underneath, and it's pretty much as what we thought before. The rocker covers definitely need doing. I'm gonna put an AC belt on right now because I ordered the parts and just got it. So yeah, let's do that and see how we go. So first off, I need to loosen off this belt because I need to get the AC belt on the other side of this belt down there. Alright, so I've got the AC belt on, so now I just need to tighten up that tensioner. Alright, so the AC belt's all tight and the tensioner's done, and I've put this belt back on the crankshaft and it looks good from here, but it's important to check the top before doing the tensioner just to make sure. And that's exactly why you got to check. So just put these two back on and everything else looks good. Cool, so now we're going to do the tensioner and just check to make sure they're not slack on these parts of the belt, and we're good. Hopefully it has AC now. Alright, so just before we check the AC, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this in it, an engine flush, because it really needs it, and then we're going to service it, but I'll check the AC while it's running. Make sure it's not in gear. Alright, moment of truth. Does the aircon work? I mean, it's kind of working. It's hard to tell until I'm out driving, I guess, and the car warms up. But for the minute, it feels a lot better because before it was just hot air and the AC didn't work at all. I mean, it had no belts, but Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So now we're just gonna drain the oil. So we've got the sump and then put a new oil filter on it as well. Alright, so I got the oil filter off and the sump plug, so I'm just gonna let that drain for a minute. Look how oily this part is. I only just noticed it while I was waiting for the oil, but I kind of traced it all back and it goes up to the rocker cover. So fingers crossed all of this oil is from the rocker cover, but I don't have high hopes. Now we're gonna put some oil in. I need 4.7. When I was checking over it last night, I saw this. I thought this was kind of cool. The air filter just comes out like that. Done. So that gauge is an oil pressure gauge and it doesn't work. So I ordered the new sensor to fix that problem. I've ordered a new radiator cap because that one's leaking like crazy. That's the bottom radiator hose that's also leaking. I noticed this on the oil cap. It's completely filthy here, like it's so gross, and I'm not really sure what's causing that. It does have an O-ring in the oil cap, so I might have to change that, but I'm not really sure what's causing the pressure to leak from the oil cap because that's pretty unusual. But yeah, that's about everything I've found so far that's wrong with the Z, which really is very manageable. The oil leak sucks because it's burning on the exhaust, but I'm going to give it a quick degrease now and pressure wash off as much as I can, and hopefully that solves the issue. But like, just for now, obviously it's not going to fix the oil leak, but I'm just trying to fix it burning on the exhaust because it's pretty bad. So just before I degrease and pressure wash it down, I've wrapped the alternator in plastic. I don't have to because the battery is covered, so I don't have to do that, and the fuses are in there as well. Alright, I've squirted it all down. I got underneath, I got absolutely soaked, but for the meantime I'm pretty happy with that, and that'll just have to do. I'll buy another can of degreaser and we might do it again, but that should be enough to work out where the leak's coming from. I know the rocker cover gasket's leaking, but there might be something else I'm missing because it was just soaked in oil. But yeah, now I'm gonna go take it for a drive, about 2 hours ish, so I might just do a little report after that, and you know, fingers crossed. I'm probably gonna bring a fire extinguisher if I'm being honest. I'm not very confident in it at the minute, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Off to a cracking start. Had the guard liner dragging on the ground, but we chucked the zip tie back on it and we're good on both sides for now. Let's see if we make it. Well, I made it back in one piece. Other than the guard liner, nothing else really happened. I can smell a decent amount of oil, so the leak's obviously still there. I couldn't really see where it is. It looks clean. I think right at the back of the driver's side rocker cover is like where the main part of the leak comes from, and that drips straight onto the exhaust, so it just smells like burnt oil. The radiator cap still leaking. Oh, and the aircon still doesn't work, so we got to work that out, see if it just needs a regas or if it's the condenser or the compressor or whatever it could be. Which sucks because that was hot. It was like 35 degrees the whole time, and the black leather seats, it's like, it's terrible. But I made it back in one piece, but I got something cool to show you guys. I bought some secondhand BC coilovers for this car, and there's the springs, and I also got a braided clutch line for the slave. So hopefully they will make it pretty much ready to slide. I just need couple other pieces, like another set of wheels with some tires on it. Need to sort out the traction control issue, but that's a huge piece of the puzzle, and they were quite cheap. I know they're in good condition, so that's handy. And yeah, So I'm trying to diagnose the AC because obviously we changed the belt and it's still not working. So I pulled it apart and I've got access to the fuse box, which is in a terrible spot. I've checked the ones in the cabin as well. All the fuses and relays are fine for the AC. I've tested the aircon and we have pressure, so we have gas, we have fuses. So I'm starting to think it's either the switch or it's not getting power to the compressor, because the compressor, that little bit down there, that little plate on the edge should spin while the car's going when the AC's on flat out, but it's not. So we've got to try to work out why it's not spinning, whether the clutch is dead, the switch is dead, or I don't know, something else. Alright, so I lifted up in the air and I got under it, and I just wanted to check the connector. I was going to use a multimeter to have a look, but have a look what I found. The wire's completely frayed. I moved it, it was tucked, but that's so bad. It's in such a shit spot to repair too. So, well, at least I worked out what's wrong with the AC. Alright, so I was working on the car and I think the last thing I did was found the wire that was snapped. I didn't film anything, but have a look at this. So I decided I could not solder in there, and I got my old man to do it, and look at that, we're all good, we're heat shrinked and everything's connected. We checked it with a multimeter and we turned the car on to see if it works, and the clutch spins. The best part is we got ice cold aircon. That's just another thing ticked off the list. So happy to have aircon. So this feels like the right spot to end this video. I've been kind of dragging it on, just following along, doing a bunch of random shit to the Z, but yeah, it's coming along, chipping away at those few little bits. I just got the rocker cover gaskets from Nissan, so I don't know, there'll be a video coming up pretty soon where I'll be changing them, because that's a pretty decent job. And yeah, couple other little bits and pieces will probably be in that video, working on the Z, and we've got to put the coilovers in. Yeah, not long and we'll be sliding it at a skid pan day or JDMX park. So yeah, make sure to hit that like and follow. Got the Bintang singlet on, and that's the Z.